It has been 10.5 months since the release of Arknights Chapter 8, and now after a long wait, we're finally getting a new story arc in the Arknights main storyline, and hence Chapter 9. So I don't know if you guys are as excited as I am, but I am super hyped about this. Not only the story, the new operator, a lot of stuff. I'm excited about a lot of stuff. New things coming to Arknights. Always exciting. So as usual, new storyline means new operators, right? We get a 5-star new operator, 4-star new operator, but the key is the new 6-star operator Saileach, or Irish pronunciation Saileach. I can't really pronounce the name. Sorry for Irish people. My bad. I can't really pronounce names properly. But as usual, I would make a should you pull video and be like, okay, I have a short answer for you guys. Yes, no, should you pull, should you not pull? And then I go into explanations like why you shouldn't, why you should, blah, 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 and so on and so forth, right? But this time, the situation is a bit different. You see, I'm only going to talk about Saileach in this video. And even then, I still can't give a clear recommendation of should you pull this banner or not. This is a very complicated situation, and it's going to be a bit of a twisted story. So I think what I should actually do is just go into the operator herself, and then we should discuss like why I would think she's worth pulling, but also it's really hard to recommend in some situations. So let's go into the operator first. So this is Saileach, our first 6-star standard bearer, or whatever they named the architecture, basically 6-star Myrtle. I have seen many situations where I find her useful. As you can see, I have a lot of trust on her, even though I don't even trust grind. I level her to level 90 and I M3 her skill. Not just because I do definitely love this art a lot. Yes, there is some bias in me, but also I see her quite useful. But then when I was planning this video, right, I went around and asked some other CN players about like their recommendation. They always say that no, most people shouldn't pull this banner unless you're going for like high risk CC, or like you're doing some sort of a challenge like maybe Vanguard only. In only those situations they would recommend pulling Saileach. So it's a really hard, because I can somewhat understand where they're coming from, but me personally, I would really like her because I see some parts of her shiny, and that is where like this difficult situation for me comes in. So before we go even further, I just want to say that I'm absolutely gonna pull her, and I wish that you guys would finish this video and then decide for yourself if you want to pull her. I will showcase which situations would I use her skill 1, skill 2, and skill 3, where you pretty much don't use the first 2 skills, as you can see in my skill mastery. And then I hope you guys can make the decision for yourselves. So let's begin. As I said before, she is our first 6-star standard bearer. As she is a 6-star, she has 1 more DP to deploy than Elysium, even both at the same potential. And so even if you pull her to max potential, she will still cost 10 DP to deploy. That is gonna be quite important very, very soon, but let's talk about her talents first. So her first talent is that when she's deployed, she will come with the flag that she's holding in her hand, right? And allied operators in the 8 tiles next to that flag will have +5 attack speed. Enemies around it will have -5 attack speed at E1. E2, 10 attack speed for ally and enemy. So it's pretty good talent. It's very minimal, but it will take its effect in the long run. Second talent, when she's deployed, the next operator that is going to be deployed has -2 DP. So you would find something similar in Elysium, where as long as Elysium is on the field, all sniper operators have -2 DP to deploy. This works for all operators, but only once. Elysium, all snipers, but only for snipers. There is a clear difference. So obviously, if you want to use it for like pure DP wise analysis, if you bring 1 or more sniper, Elysium is the better choice for lower DP cost. If you want to go no sniper at all, Saileach is probably the better choice there. Now, we have to talk about her skill. Skill 1 is Support Gamma. Many of us would know this skill because this is the exact same skill as Elysium skill 1. There is absolutely no difference. Same initial skill points, same skill point requirement to use, same duration, same DP generated. But remember how I mentioned how Saileach is a 6-star and hence she costs 1 more DP to summon? And so if you really want to use her to generate DP, you're gonna have to use 1 more DP to summon her than Elysium, and then you will generate the same amount of DP. You see my point there? If all you want to do is use skill 1 and generate DP, Elysium is the better choice, as long as you're using a sniper in your team, obviously, with how the talent works. So in general, skill 1, I would never use. I would just use Elysium skill 1, to be honest. And you will see very shortly, I will show you my team, my current CN team, main team right now, where I can show you how I usually team, like, use my operators. Now, skill 2, a very interesting skill. She stops attacking, and within the 15-second duration of skill 2, she will slowly recover 20 DP. She will throw the flag to an ally within an area that has the lowest HP percentage, increases its defense by up to 50% at M3, and recover HP equivalent to 50% of Saileach's attack. So increase defense, heal. And then once the skill is over, she will retract the flag back into her hand. So within that skill duration, she will decrease enemies' attack speed, increase ally attack speed, so on and so forth. The best thing about this skill is that it's a toy. So pretty much the only situation that I would ever use this skill is to pair it with Arc. So sometimes, you know, when you're like using Arc skill 3, you're trying to buff an operator, but that operator just dies, skill 2 comes in. That's the only situation where I would ever use Saileach skill 2. And that is why I still haven't even M1 her skill 2. And I think it is very simple to see why I haven't done so. Because this is just a toy. But unlike her skill 2, skill 3 is a very major skill, as you would see with my M3 skill 3. Within the 10-second duration of her skill 3, she will stop attacking, immediately recover 10 SP. So in terms of like burst DP regeneration, that's already better than skill 2. She will throw the flag towards a ground enemy within the area, dealing up to 300% physical damage and 3.5 seconds of stun. Within that period, the 8 tiles surrounding the flag will slow enemy and give them 30% fragile. After that, the flag is retrieved back to her hands. As you can see, this skill only takes 20 SP, with an initial SP of 7, plus E5 backpipe, that's 15. Every 20 seconds after the first charge, she will be able to throw a flag, stun for 3.5 seconds, slow plus fragile for 30% for 10 seconds. And what that usually comes into is a shorter period and shorter CD version of Suzerain skill 3. That is where I mostly use this. Obviously, you still have to include the fact that it is an AoE stun as well, which makes this skill even better. And so that is why I have my team in such a way where I would actually bring 4 Vanguards in my team. Bagpipe, Elysium skill 1 for DP generation, Myrtle skill 1 for DP generation, and Saileach skill 3 in order to buff everyone else. And here's the thing. How often do you use Suzerain skill 3? That's the real question. And that is where I kind of understand why other CN players don't really think that she is a must pull. Because we don't even use Suzerain skill 3 anymore. Well, rarely, except for like those high risk CC situations where you need the extra slow, you need the extra, all these extra damage. Saileach does similar job with Suzuran, except for a bit less, but also a bit more DP generation. That's about it. That is about it. And so in those situations where you're like, oh my god, I wish I could have a slow burst of a small Suzuran, she's really good. But also, we don't use Suzuran. That is where the complicated situation comes in. And that is why I kind of understand why people don't really recommend pulling her. Now here's the thing. Not only that, Saileach skill 3, as you can see, has a pretty interesting area. And so whenever you're using her skill 3, you have to make sure that there are no other enemies within the area to steal the flag. So let's say you're putting her in the center, and then there's to the left, to the right, and then in front of her. The direction matters of where you're facing her, because if you face her in the wrong direction, and then her area will reach into another lane that she's like you didn't intend for her to defend. In that case, she might throw her flag to the other lane, and hence not really defend the lane that you want her to defend, which makes the whole thing extremely messy to use. So not the easiest to use. The effect is useful. I will not say it's not useful, because personally I really think the skill is very nice, but not really in the majority of the situations. You really wouldn't need her. And so personally for me, she's a must pull. Obviously, I love her a lot. I think that she's a game changer for me. But for you will have to decide on yourself that if you want someone that doesn't generate DP as well as Elysium, skill 1 and skill 2 are pretty much not gonna be used. And all you're really pulling for really is skill 3. Do you think this skill 3 is worth your pulls before we are like 2 months away from another limited banner? Do you think that Saileach is worth your hard saved or random? That is up to you. And that is the end of this video. Hope you guys find this helpful. I definitely couldn't make a decision. I'm really sorry about that. It would be really nice if I could give you guys like a clear recommendation of yes or no. But as I mentioned, this is a very complicated case, and I really couldn't give out a clear recommendation. I'm sorry. But hopefully you guys find this video helpful and understand like why I'm having this trouble giving you a recommendation. And I hope you guys have made your own decisions, and good luck on your pulls if you're pulling for her. Also, I believe many of you are just going to pull her because she is really nice looking. And that kind of makes the whole video kind of pointless, me explaining all that. But if you really like her design, pull her. She's worth it. If you don't care about the design, you can think about all the pros and the cons that I mentioned in this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!